Good morning to one and all. Myself, I am Ramana Reddy. So today I am going to deliver the lectures on that task subject. So topic name is that 01 abstract problem. So you already know about that in the previous classes. We already discussed about that 01 abstract problem using greedy method. Okay, and also completed with that dynamic programming approach and also backtracking. So now coming to that, this is the 01 abstract problem using branch and bound. This is called the B. Means here that in this it is having the two methods are there. One is that least cost method, LC, branch and bound. One more is that before. So why you are choosing that 01 abstract problem? So you already is having that completed with the greedy method approach and also backtracking approach and also dynamic programming approach. Why you are choosing that again branch and bound for that 01 abstract problem means here that if you want to reduce the time complexity purpose, you are using that branch and bound technique. So in this here that I will take the one example. So at that 01 abstract problem, in this generally the main problem is that here is that maximize the profit and minimize the weight. So that is the main concept. Maximize the profit and minimize the weight. So this is the concept in that 01 abstract problem or normal abstract problem. So generally at that normal abstract problem is also there. In this here the difference is that 01 abstract and that normal abstract problem. So in the normal abstract problem you can take that partial part of that any weight of that. But here that 01 abstract problem, so you need to take that complete item or not. If you want, so here that is it possible to take that complete item, take that complete item. Otherwise leave it about that. So that is called the 0 means here that. So no need to take that, no need to consider that particular item. And 1 means you need to consider that particular item. So this is the concept for the 01 abstract and the normal abstract problem. So in this here that one example for that. So here the given data is that this is the profit. So first one is that first item profit is that 10 rupees next one. Next one is the one more is also 10 and one more is also 12. One more is that 18. So these are the profits for that given data. Okay, and for this here that weight is also is given that weights. So first one is the first item weight is that it is that 2 kgs. Next one, the second one is that 4 kgs. Next one is that 6 kgs. Next one is that 9 kgs. So this is the given data for that. So for this here that so bag weight is that it is that m is equals to 50. So here the n is equals to total 4. So these are the input data for that. First one is that profits are these are the profits for the 4 items. Okay, bag capacity is that 50. Means here that so here that if you want to select that any one of that item from that here that is also greater than that 50. So that is the formula for that. In this here that so if you want to construct that state space tree for that using the branch and LC BB method. Means here the LC branch and bound method. So first one is that first take that node 1. So in this here that before going to start that state space tree for that. So first you need to finding that upper bound. So initially take that upper bound is that infinite. Next one is that here the finding that upper bound of that upper bound value and also finding the cost of this first node. Means here that so here the first one is that you need to consider that first item. So that is the 10 and here the weight is the 2. So means here the bag capacity is that so if you want to calculate that upper bound and that cost is that upper bound is formula is that so summation of I is equals to 1 to n. Here the pi into xi is the formula for that. And here the cost is that summation of I is equals to 1 to n pi into xi. Here is that so here fractions allowed. But in this here that so in the 01 abstract problem is nothing but so fractions generally fractions are not allowed. But here that for the calculation purpose, for the computation purpose, you are using that this cost is also need to calculate. So here that based on these formulas here that upper bound value for that in this case here that first one is that I am considering the first weight, so that is the 10. Okay, and for that here that weight is the 2 kgs. So our bag capacity is that formula it is also greater than or equals to m. So you already know about that value m value is equals 15. So here that our weight is that only 2 means here that it is possible to inserting that item. Next one, second item. Second item profit is the 10 and here the need to consider the 4. So total is that up to now we are that only 2 plus 4. So total 6 is completed out of 15. Capacity is the 15 is there. So it is also possible to inserting the 2 kgs weight and 4 kgs weight also. Next consider the third one. So here that one. So in this here the particular weight is that 6 kgs. So total here that up to now here that 2 plus 4 plus 6 means here the total 12 kgs completed out of 15. So means here that. So next one is that you need to consider that next fourth item. Fourth item is that weight is that it is the 9 kgs are there means that if you take the 9 means it is the exceeded of that one. So that's why that no need to consider the fourth item. So here the up to third item is that possible to insert into that. So here the total weight is that 2 plus 4 plus 6 is possible for that. Weights are total cost is that 10 plus 10 plus 12 means here the total is that 32. So here the upper bound value is that 32. So generally here that you need to consider the negative values for that. So that's why I consider that minus 32. So this is the upper bound value. So here the PI into XI values. Next for the similarly calculate the cost also. So in this here the cost is also same formula, but here the fractions are allowed means here that. So here the first you need to consider this one, second one also this one considered, and third one is this one considered, and fourth one is that. So remaining gap, how much gap is there for that out of 15? 6 plus 4 plus 2 means here that 10, 12 is completed. Remaining 3 kgs is the pending is there in that. So for that you need to consider the 3 kgs means out of 9 kgs here the profit is that 3 3 is 9, so here the 3 6 are. So means here the total 6 means here that. So cost is that it is the cost is that it is 10 plus 10 plus 12 plus 6. So total is that 38. So here the minus 38. So this is the way to finding that upper bound and the cost of that. Now here that. So instead of that upper bound value is the infinite is there. Now here they got the one upper bound values. That's why you need to consider that whatever the upper bound value is there, that can be modified. So that is the now upper bound value is that minus 32. So this is the way to calculating of that. Now here that if you want to extending of this one, this tree. So here that x1 considered, x1 considered means here that take the x1 compulsory here. X1 is equals to 1. Next one is that x1 is equals to 0. Means here that consider the first item. This one is that not consider the first items. So for the based on that you need to calculate that upper bound values. Here also upper bound values and cost. So here the first to calculate upper bound values and calculate the cost also. Here also calculate the upper bound value and here also cost. So here the with this upper bound and cost values are there. So you already calculate the previous one here also. In this case is also first step you also determine that consider the first item. That's why that same value is coming to here also. So here the upper bound value is the minus 32 and the cost is also minus 38. Next here also. So here that don't consider the first item means here that. So in this here that not consider the first item. So except the first item here they need to consider the second item, that is the cost is that. So weight is the 4 and the second item is the 6 and the third item is that 6 plus 4 is complete means here the remaining is that. So how much vacancy is there? 5 kgs vacancy is there in that. So that's why is that I am considering that 5 by 9 so into 18. So that equals to total 10. So means here the 10 plus 12 plus 10. So total is that 32. So here that 32 cost is that minus 32 here. Okay. Next one is that upper bound value is that it is that don't take that the fractions. That's why is that upper bound value is that only these two items. So 10 plus 12. So that is that minus 22. Now here that observe here. So upper bound value compared to these two here that upper bound value. So here that minus 32 is the upper bound value and the cost is the minus 38. So that's why it is the live state. So coming to here also, here that C is equals to minus 32. So that is the, it is also minus 32 means here this is also live state. Now here these two states are the live state. So when it is that states are the dead state means here that whenever the condition cost is that cost greater than upper, that case that node is that dead node. Now here that these two are the so not satisfy that condition, that's why these two are the live nodes. Now next one is the next step is that extending that further this one. So this one is also extended. So before extending of these two here that so you need to so which one you want to extend first. So in this case here that first one is that compared to cost is the minus 38, here cost is the minus 38 too. In this case here that best one is that this is the best one. So that's why is that so you need to consider only extend this one only. So here that so in this here that x1 already completed, next one the x2 is considered here. Okay, here is the x2 is not considered. So these are the two cases. So in this case here that x2 is considered means here that calculate the upper bound value and calculate that cost is also. So here is that, so if x2 is equals to 1 means here the x1 is considered and x2 is also considered, means that case here that, suppose here that first one x1 is considered, okay, that weight is the 2, next one the x2 is considered, that weight is that 4, so total 2 plus 4, 6 is completed. Next one the third item I want to select it, that is the 6, that is that cost is the 12, so total is the how much here that, so here the 2 plus 4 plus 6, 6 plus 4, 10, 12. 12 kgs completed out of 15 kgs. So in this case here that it is also possible for that. Next one is that, so this is the cost of that one. So now here that cost is that only minus 32 here. Cost is that, okay, so upper bound value is that minus 32. Okay, now similarly calculate the cost. Cost is also allowed for the fractions, that's why is that remaining place here that how much is the gap is there in that out of this 6 plus 4 plus 2 means here that 10, 12, 12 completed, remaining 3 is the pending is there. So for that I am considering the fourth item here. So it cost is that 6. So means here 10 plus 10 plus 12 plus 6. So this is equals to 32, 38. So here that minus 38 here. Okay, similarly calculate here also upper bound value and the cost also. So here that as per same as per the calculation formulas you can apply that. So calculating of this one is that this value is that u is equals to minus 22 and u c is equals to minus 36. Now here that compare these two are. So here the upper bound value is the minus 32. So here the cost is the minus 38 and this is the minus 36. In this case, two cases here that which one is the best one? This is the best one because of here that this method is that LC branch and bound means here the least cost. Which one is the least cost in this one? This is the minus 38 is the least cost. That's why it is the live state. So it is also live state, but here that so we can extend only that which one is the best that can be extended. So next one the coming the comparison. So here the upper bound value is the minus 32 here. Here also upper bound minus 32 means here that no problem. So that is also live state. So here also minus 22. So and minus 32. So this is the best one. That's why you can keep this one only. Next one. So take the third item. Similarly that. Third item. You take the third item is that x3 is equals to x3 is equals to 1 and x3 is equals to 0 here. So like that here also you need to calculate that upper bound value and here also calculate the lower bound values. So based on the formulas upper bound values are the, so this is the minus 32 and this is that minus 38. Okay, this one is also upper bound value is equals to minus 38 and the cost is also minus 38. Now compare this one is that which one is the best one in this here that two are the equal. Cost is that this is also minus 38. This is also minus 38, this is also minus 38. So here the both are the equal priorities there. So that's why is that, so you need to, so both are the live states and also compare that upper bound values. This is the minus 32, this is the minus 38. So that's why this is the best one only. So that's why the here also upper bound minus 32, here also minus 38. So based on this here that upper bound value is the minus 38 is the best one. So that's why that upper bound value is changed to that. So now the upper bound value is that minus 38. So based on that, whatever the live state is up to now here that, so first compare this one. So minus 38, upper bound value minus 38 and cost is that. So compared to these two here that, so this is the best one. That's why it is a dead state now. So coming to this one also. So this one is also cost, this is the minus 38 and this is the minus 36. So that is also best one. That's why it is also dead state. So coming to this one is also these two. So from these two here that, so first one is the x1 is considered, x2 is also considered, x3 is also considered. Next one is the, if you want to x4 considered, it means that is not the possible for that x4 is also, because of here that if you take that first item, complete item, weight is the 2, and you take the second item, x2 is equals to, x1 is equals to 1 means weight is the 2 completed, x2 is equals to 1 means here that one more 4 completed, next x3 is equals to 1 means that is also 6 completed. So it is only 3 items is possible to insert into the bag, because of here the total capacity is the 15 is there. So that's why is that, so not possible to take that x4 is equals to 1 here, x4 is equals to 1 and x4 is equals to 0 like that. That's why is that it is the infeasible solution this one. So that's why it is that it is eliminated here also. So only here that, so it is only the live state here. So here that x1 considered, x2 considered, x3 not considered. So next one is the x4. So this is the extension is that x4 is that x4 considered, x4 not considered, you need to calculate that values, upper bound values. So here the upper bound values are it is that minus 38 and cost is also minus 38. Here also cost is equals to minus 20 and upper bound is also minus 20. Okay, so observe these two here, that here is the minus 38 and here is the minus 20. Means here which one is the best one? This is the minus 38 is the best one, but here these two states are the live state, because of here that compared to this one, this is the minus 38 and it is also minus 38. So it is no problem. Here it is also lesser value. That's why is that upper bound value is minus 38 only. So now coming to that here, that so which one you want to consider here, that means here that compared to these two minus 38 and minus 20, which one is the best one? Minus 38 is the best one. So that's why you need to consider this one only. So means here that, so what is the output for that? Here is the x1 is considered, means here that 1. Next one is the x2 is considered, so that is the cost, that is also 1. Next one is the x3. So x2, after that x3 not considered, means here that x3 is equals to 0. Next one the x4 is that considered. So this is the final solution of that. So here that x1 considered means that is the value is the 1. So 0, 1 abstract is nothing but a 0 is nothing but a not considered, 1 is nothing but a considered. So in this case here that, so you got that solution is, this is the solution for that. In this case here that this channel is that, first one the x1 is that 1 and x2 is equals to 1, next one is the x3 is equals to 0 and x4 is equals to 1. This is the solution in that. So what is the total profit for that one? First to x1 is considered means profit is that 10. Okay, next one is x2 is considered, profit is 10. Next x3 is not considered means profit is 0. Next x4 is considered, the profit is what? That is the 18. So total is that how much? 10 plus 10 plus 18. So total 38 is the profit for that, and weight is that, so 2 plus 4 plus 9. So here the checking this one, 9 plus 4 13, 14 15. So total capacity is also 15. So the back capacity is also 15. So our weight is also 15 is got it. So that's why this is the result of that. So total profit is at minus 38. So this is about the 0-1 abstract problem using LC branch and bound. Similar to that, so you need to calculate that PIPO method is also there. So for that some conditions are also there. So we will discuss the next class for that one. So this